Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more RPG goodness. This time it's the giant book of Cyberpunk battle mats. 62 pages of battle mats for modern tabletop RPGs. Now when I tell you this book is massive, I truly mean it is massive. And it's heavy, and it's brought to you by Loc Battle Mats. For more information, go to locbattlemats.com. And right on top it says open and roll 62 wipe clean battle mat pages. Attention adventurers, the giant book of Cyberpunk battle mats is the ideal set of cyberpunk, modern and post-apocalyptic battle mats to keep your party rolling through any and every encounter. 62 wipe clean map pages will run you through the shadows of neon streets, murder alleys, bars, supermarkets, offices, and across abandoned train yards, warehouses, and of course the unrelenting bleak wilderness to find danger, excitement, and rewards, and every possibility a little bit of possibly a fight. Designed to spark the imagination, illustrate and track encounters using the gridded maps, the giant book of Cyberpunk battle mats offers endless flexibility. You can use each map page individually by folding the book in half, or use the lay flat spine to combine complementary opposing pages as one larger 2-page spread version. So draw your hand cannon and roll for initiative. And of course, as always, they show you different variations of maps that are included in the book, of course on a much smaller scale. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. As you can tell by that thud, it's quite a heavy book. So let's open up to our first. Now, as always, you get some blank grids. Now, so over the course of doing all these videos, I've shown quite a few different types and styles of maps brought to you by Loc Battle Mats. So here's an example. I showed you the little book of battle mats just to show you how massive this thing is. This is a 6x6 grid. Then also, you've also seen me do unboxings of another map called the Big Book of Sci-Fi Battle Mats, and these are the size of 8x12s. So put that in here like that. It just shows you in comparison how huge this map book is. So I turn it this way even, if it's going across right there. Okay, so I'm just showing you how large this book truly is compared to the others. So I'm going to close these up. Move these out of our way as we continue on. So I'm going to move it to one page only. The book is quite heavy. So if we look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 horizontally. So 12 squares horizontally. And vertically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's a 12 by 17 grid. And of course, if you open it up fully, you would have double that in size. So these are huge maps. Now again, I like to have grids like this, so if I want to create my own type of scene, I can do that. If I want to throw some foliage out there, if I want to use some regular plants, I can put that out there somewhere. If I want to say there's a house over here, I can put that over here. I like to leave a little bit of room for walking distance. If I want to put this over here. If I want to use 3D structures, I can do that as well. I can put a statue over here. Have another statue somewhere over here in the corner over here, or let's use squares to make it easier. Put one over here like that. Okay, if we want to have some characters walking around, we can do that. Again, each square is 5 feet. Just to show you a couple different ideas. If we want to use painted miniatures, we can. We have a painted miniature here. We can put that guy down over here. All right. If we want to use some standees, we have standees. Again, all these are for example purposes only, just putting them down here to show you. Also, if I wanted to use a hex grid, I could do that as well. Those would fit perfectly inside the squares also. If I want to use clings, clings are a great thing. So if I want to use up all of protection against a monster that's incoming, I can put that down. Right there where my character's standing, and boom, put him on top of that. Let's say this character here is going to fire at him. And I have another cling I could show using a cling. I'm just going to back him up for a minute. Boom, he's taking a shot at him with his pulse rifle. And there you go, show you that way. Again, if they want to enter here, you could just flip this, and they've got the entrance to that. Again, if he wants to enter this here, we can flip that open, and there's your entrance to, see the doorway is right there, so the entrance is right there. If you want to change the picture of that, you can put this here. Instead of having a statue there, pull the statue off. I have a space vehicle, put a vehicle if you're trying to reach the vehicle. Do that. If you want to pull this out and use a monstrous creature, you can do that as well. Just giving you the different variations and the different sizes that you can use on these different maps that are so huge. So you can create a lot of different things based upon what your adventure is calling for. I'm using these just for example purposes and how you use, because sometimes people, I create these videos and people go, well, why would I want to purchase a map that has nothing on it? Well, because if you have these kinds of things that you can lay out and put down, which I've done other unboxing videos showing you where you can get these from, you can create your own battle maps. So that's why they include these in here as well. Okay, so again, all these are used for demonstration purposes only. They are not included with any of the figures or any of the terrain, or the clings are not included with the purchase of this map. They're for demonstration purposes only and can be bought individually. And the great thing about the clings are that you put them down, just got to grab them, and they peel right off and can be used again. Another thing, this is hard plastic and these are thick pages. You're not going to rip these. You spill them, it cleans right off. You're not going to damage it. And also it's dry erase. So if you have a dry erase mark, you want to, instead of putting things out like I did and you want to draw them out instead, you could do that. Put your trees over here, put your statue over here, put your vehicle over here, you know, put that building over here, put an X here for bad guys, zeros, O's for good guys, however you want to do it. He's standing here, he's shooting, put an arrow across like that, you can do that. And with the wet dry markers, make sure you don't use permanent, use wet dry markers. You get yourself a piece of tissue paper, wet it a little bit, it all comes right off. Comes right off, right? And doesn't leave any marks. Okay, so again, there's your page 1 and your page 2. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you this as best I can, because the book is rather big. And bulky, so you have a bunch of housing up top, down the sides, and across the bottom. And that's the way it would look together. The map is so large that I can't fit it in screen on the camera. So what I could do is this. Show you each panel by itself. Looks like some storefronts. Again, Again, the attention to detail is fantastic, just like every other Look battle mat that I've done an unboxing for. The colors they choose are vibrant. The cartography is perfect. Again, each square is considered 5 feet in this kind of map. So then I can flip it over to this side. Got some tables there. Again, the attention to detail, when you look at it up close. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful blending with different colors. And again, if I want to put it out flat, we could do it that way. Now, people ask me about the spine all the time. So, to me, this is kind of like a water area here. So you got a walkway that's all. It's obvious where they're going to be crossing. Could you cross across here? Of course, this would be, to me, would be considered difficult terrain going across from here. This would not be considered impassable in this situation because obviously the water is flowing and this is not. This is kind of like an invisible wall here. If you don't like having the binding, you could always take an X-Acto knife, or you could take a scissor and you could cut this off and then cut this side off and then lay the two maps together and get a big binder, put them in. That's up to you as well if you want to do this. The spine, I just use it as just an accompaniment. I don't consider it even being there. It's kind of invisible. So I kind of look at it this way going across. So you wouldn't see it at all, in my mind at least. Again, we'll flip over to one side. Looks like a diner of some kind, or an eatery, possibly something at a spaceport. So this again is used for Cyberpunk. Personally, again, I would say I would use it for either Cyberpunk or possibly I would use it for sci-fi adventures as well. If I use the inlay the way it is, if I want to use it together, I can do that as well. Patterns are matching. So in this case here, this would be some sort of booth, I would say. So this would be considered impassable terrain here. This would be wide open. The chair would be open, that if they fell, they would fall this way, or if they were moved from here to here, 5 feet to move to there. I would say that this could be, this is an opening here going into here. Then I would say there's a closed area here. This is, you cannot walk through there. You see the different colors of the tiles. That would help me as well. There's a yellow line here that also shows me that there's a wall here. So this would be considered impassable terrain. Again, if I wanted to break, if the person wanted to break through it, that's break through the wall. Of course, you'd have to roll for that kind of things if it's even possible. I know in Starfinder, there's, if you want to break through walls, there's different things that you have to do so. Cyberpunk Red, there's also that. So if you notice, there's openings here, openings there. So again, the way you want to do it is up to you. But again, for me, when I'm looking at the spine, again, unpassable terrain, this would be all considered impassable. This I'd say would be passable because you'd be able to go from here into here. And if you go up the stairs here, you'd be able to walk this way possibly. All right, but this is an elevation. This is not, this could be elevated as well. I'm not sure. So this could be a section that's above the bar. But again, maybe it's not because there's a doorway here. So I would probably say that this is impassable terrain as well. I wouldn't allow people to go through here or go through to go to the side here. Impassable, 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 impassable up to here, open from this to here, and then this is all passable, and then this down here would be impassable once again. Moving on to our next pages. Again, city street of some kind. The other side. Again, the neon colors really blend well. The attention to detail on each section of the map is absolutely gorgeous. The use of lighting just has that feel, obviously, of the cyberpunk world that they were talking about. All the neon lights and everything else. So again, if we use those separately or as one complete battle mat. Going down into the subway system. The little ticket console there. Looks like a roadway of some sort. Got some lights. Can get the subway up a little closer. There you go. Then we move the map onto the other side. You have some crosswalks. Different sides of the street. No. Okay, attention to detail again on every square. It's fantastic. And then if you want the full map, okay, looks like a parking deck. So if I was going to use this here, I'm just going to put something in there just to keep my place. So if I'm going to use this as a parking deck, I may have a vehicle that needs to park. So I'm going to park it in here. It's a little big for it, but the guys get out. Again, here's your hex grids. The hex grids work just fine on this type of map as well. You know what? That's a standee. What a standee with that? A standee with a normal 28mm base. I can put my guys inside the vehicles. He's coming out. A couple other guys are getting ready to brawl. There's a guy coming out here to fight. There could be a robot in the area that's patrolling. Again, I'm showing you this just to show that, you know, what it would look like adding some dimensions to your maps. Creature coming out over here to maybe wants to attack. Again, this guy here sees what's going on there. The Yoski sees it. Puts an orb of protection. Boom. He's doing fine. With his staff, decides to take a shot at him. There you go, using the clings again. Rolls for initiative, has the initiative, and takes a shot at him. So there you go. Just a general idea of how the map can be utilized by, again, these are all 28mm figures. They're not included with the purchase of the map. I'm using them for example purposes only. What it would look like to make your map pop just a little bit more by using three-dimensional figures. So we're going to use this, pull these guys all off. Again, all the miniatures, all the clings, all the flat terrain and vehicles are not included with the purchase of this map book. They can all be purchased individually. Again, the clings, they come right off, very as easy as you put them down. They come up right as easy. Again, you have dry erase maps. So if you want to, again, put the X over here, where the battle took place over here, I have an X over here where the good guy is, and O over here. Draw a line here saying I'm attacking him. Again, you can do that as well. You get a tissue paper, wet it down a little bit, rub it off, comes right off, as long as you're not using permanent marker. Use a wet dry erase marker. and it works perfectly. Again, the paper, nice and thick. If you spill anything on it, it's not going to damage it. It's going to be a hard time ripping it unless you're going to cut it with a scissor or a knife or something of that nature. Okay, continue to move forward. So you saw that side. Show you the other side of the garage. And then put it out there completely flat. Got some rooftops. Got some garbage bins down there. And move over here. Again, this is designed for cyberpunk, but again, you could use it for science fiction. You could use it for superhero role-playing games. I mean, I could use this for Mothership. I could use it for Star Trek. I could use it for Starfinder. I can use it for any type of Star Frontiers, any type of science fiction they wanted, or you could do it like a Cyberpunk Red, which is obviously a cyberpunk game that have done reviews for all those. An underground railroad. Lots of neon coloring. Got 2 lanes waiting for it. If you had a train, you could put it right on there. It'll look great. It says rapid transit. There you go. And then you want to see the full book. Okay. Look this way. Basically have the rail and then part of the station over here. Looks like the top of a helipad here on top of a large building. Looks like it could be a skyscraper. If you're doing a Die Hard type film, this could be Nakatomi Tower. With a huge helipad on top. Again, if you've got a giant helicopter, you can put that on there and use that for, again, for your terrain pieces. And there, you would use it as the full mat. Again, my apologies. I only have this amount of room for the camera. So again, my apologies that the whole map does not fit in. That's why I'm showing you from the side views, to try to show you as much of the detail and artwork on this map, because it's absolutely glorious. And here we go. This can be any type of department store you'd like to think of it as, or as a supermarket. To the other side. Leads down possibly to that parking garage that we saw earlier. And the detail of all this stuff that's here. Again, it's up to your imagination as to what's inside all these different tables or on these shelvings. And this would be considered impassable. That would be considered impassable. Then when you lay it down, you can see the full scale of the model, or the map, I should say. Again, here it looks like this would be all considered all impassable terrain. You could pass through. As you can tell, that's rows of product right there. Open area here where you can go through, impassable terrain here, open area here, and then that would be considered impassable. Again, if you have a massive creature coming through here, and he's going to try to get through the wall there, and your heroes are running away from him, trying to get away, and fighting him as they kind of stand there, getting ready to battle him. He could probably make his way through the wall. but a normal person would not be able to ram their way through the wall unless they had some sort of super powers or something of that nature, or they were a cyborg or something like that. There's your full map. Moving on. Moving on, we have a keep clear area here. Another one I would use this for is if you the 28mm game Judge Dredd. This would be absolutely perfect for something you would see in Mega City 1. Moving on again. And then you have your doors here and the attention to detail on every square. Again, in this map, every square is worth 5 feet. And again, if you look at the beginning of the video, it will tell you again the dimensions of every map that's included in this book here. We see both sides of the map. There you go. Passable is right here if you're going from linking from map to map. Got the bathrooms over here. Looks like it's a unisex bathroom. Name of a corporation. Little elevator there for handicap accessibility, possibly. Staircases going up and down. Got some desks and some chairs. Okay. And over here, looks like inside an office building. Got some cubicles. You got your doors here. So if a door is locked, you could always put it with a dry erase marker, you put an X over that. If you have some 3D doors, you could throw them in there as well. Okay, and then the full map. Again, this would be all considered wide open areas here. I might consider this, because the map colors change, I might say that this is impassable terrain here. There's a wall there. You'd have to come in this way and go here and then come into here. As well, also down here would be considered impassable as well. Okay, moving on. As I'm flipping this map here, my back is saying, oof, this is a heavy map. I'm also bent over while showing you all this stuff here too. The map is not as light as it seems. This is, like I said, a very, very big map. And we're only halfway through it. So this video is going to take a little longer than I had hoped it would, but again, it's important that you get a full viewing of what's included. That's the entire purpose here. So again, showing you here. Then you have your full map again. Again, I would say impassable terrain. You can go in through this way. Again, impassable terrain going up to there. And again, if you want to, X-Acto knife, scissors, cut it out, and you don't have that problem with the spine anymore. Again, I just adapt to the spine. Other people may not like the spine. Well, then you can make changes to it. Tiles are beautiful. Again, the attention to details, the different colors for each of the rooms, the toilets, the beds, the bed sheets, the carpeting, everything is very stylized. Very cool. This reminds me, the floor is looking this way. It reminds me where you can see down. I remember being at a hotel in Houston where when you're on the top floor, you could look down and you could see the center. Also, I was in a hotel in Atlanta that was the same thing, where all the hotel rooms were around and you could look down and see all the way to the bottom. And when you're on like the 23rd floor, it was crazy to look down. Very cool. Then we go over here, some more. Again, which is really, really cool. And again, if your character was to fall from the top, go down all the way to the ground there, they'd be in what they call a bit of trouble there. And there is, again, this would be considered impassable. Impassable on top here. All the way across here would be impassable, because this would just be wide open in here. This would be wide open, so that would be passable here, but that side would be impassable, this side would be impassable. Of course, here's where you would pass through. This would be impassable down here. Open over here and impassable back there as well, okay? Moving forward to some more. Almost like a marble room. Then this side. We had seen a subway entrance earlier, and well, here's the other subway entrance. Again, a full map. Can't get in there. Open. Can't get in that side. Looks like a super highway of some sort. Okay, and if you have vehicles, you could use you could use different sized vehicles that are on here. Again, the maps are based on 28 millimeters, so if I wanted to put a vehicle in here, I could put that right there. It's driving down the highway. Simply that. Put it that way. I'm putting it coming this way. Put it on one side. There you go. It's an oversized vehicle. There's up close, just so you get a general idea from it. So there you go. Okay. And I can show you from the other side as well. As you can tell, there's quite a side. If you fell off that side there, you're quite high off the ground. So that's how it would look on a full scale. So it looks like we have a new development house here, or office complex. Beautiful detail on the grass, the shrubbery. Again, shows the inside where your windows are, doorways, entrances, glass, so if you want to break in that way. Some stairwell going to upper floors. Window on the side here, on the lower levels. Windows on the side of either side of the door. Like a dinner table, or again, could be an office. Bring it to this side. More areas. So again, around the roof around. Get more shrubbery and grass. So there you have the full picture, what the full layout would be. Now if you wanted to, you might need a couple pieces of paper, but if you're using it, you could just kind of put some paper down and go, you know, I don't want you to see what's coming up in the adventure. Put a couple pieces of paper down, say, all right, you enter the building. This is what you see, and as you're going through it, and as you go through it, you can always take these off. There you go. You can take those off and show them what they're coming up to next. Or if they came in through the roof, or they're coming on this side, going that way, you could do it, vice versa. This looks like almost like the work area in a post office. Lots and lots of packages. Could be in a warehouse. Stairwell coming up. So this area would be above the worker areas. Let me flip the map over. Got an office over here. Bay 12. So you got your loading docks over here. So that would be your full map. Again, this would be passable terrain from here to here. This would be impassable unless you're on the top walking around. Down here, again, this would be impassable right here. And there's a stairwell going up or going down into where again, an area where there'd be a loading, some vehicle be loading. So you put that vehicle in there like that. Perfect size for a loading zone right there. Perfect size. Okay. So there's your full map. And then this is kind of on the docks. We have your containers. Then I have a bunch of containers that I got from, I forget which 28mm game that I got, but you could just place those on top of these containers. Gives you that feel. Makes it, you know, pop even that much more on the map. Very cool. Then on the other side, that of a shipping yard. Very cool. And then the complete map. Then we're going on to the next one. Then as you continue to look here, there's all the different foliage on here. All different kinds of things that we're looking at here. And as we're doing that, keep taking a look here, the details to the maps. Then flip that map over again. More details again for different color. As you notice the different colors that are part of it. The foliage going around. Different stuff you have here. Absolutely beautiful. And then we take this and we fold it out like that. Is the complete map. A wide open area. On to the next. This is very cool. Not exactly sure what we got here, but it looks like almost like maybe these are oil drums. Not sure. But it's really, really cool. I'll see some sort of steel structure, and these things are inside it. Could be something that you want to destroy. So you might have to climb this wall here to put maybe dynamite or C4 or something on these to try to detonate them. You know, it's up to your imagination. That's what we have on. So that's that map here. Then we flip it over to this side here. We got a wide open area. That's the whole elevated. Nope, the elevation's over here. Again, if we use it as one big map, so you come in this way, walk over here, go up the stairs, then your entrance is there. You would have to, somehow you would have to, this is up higher, so you'd obviously have to do something to move from this side to this side. It would be considered passable, but again, you'd have to put rope across there, swing across, do something on the roof, go across that way, or you just walk that way. But that's how it would look with your full map. And then you have a grassland area. Again, the closer you look at the detail on the map, ranging from bushes, you can see heavy areas where people have traveled on, where people haven't. Again, the closer you look up to it, a lot of detail to it. Again, some shrubbery, some bushes, stuff like that. You can throw that in there. And then you flip the map. The other side. Then you have some sort of building. Now again, if you have chairs or tables and stuff like that, you just put that in there. Again, maybe put a bed in here or whatever. You can do that as well. Some computer terminals, whatever you want to do, you can do that. You take some rocks from your garden outside and put them in here and put them here. Let's just show elevation. Use some rock walls, put them in there. Again, if you want to use the full map. Again, if we looked at this very quickly, we have it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 12 by 17. There's your full map again. Flip it over. That's like a track. I had done an adventure with Starfinder maybe a year ago, and it was in this kind of open area where it was called Junker's Delight, and that was the name of the module that we went through. And they had areas like this where there were wrecked cars, and it was like a garbage heap that was there. This kind of reminds me of one of the scenes that we had to go through to locate some things before the final battle. Okay. Or you can consider it, you use the complete map like this and use it as a derby, smash up derby. You use the map for Gas Wars if you wanted to as well. Another 28mm game. And then we have some city streets with again, when we're looking at this type of street here, we're looking at almost the apocalypse. So this would be fine if you used it for a zombie-side type game. Or the Walking Dead All-Out War miniatures game would be perfect for this map as well. And then we flip it to this side over here. We've got some abandoned, destroyed buildings, destroyed cars, and the attention to detail of the rubble. Beautiful. And then the city streets. And then again, the full. Very, very cool. Again, out in the desert plains, just like the Judas Priest song. Full moon is rising. The road is calling you. Again, Mad Max, this brings me to mind of like a Mad Max Thunderdome or Road Warrior. And there's your flatlands going across. Just saw the movie Army of the Dead. It reminds me of that as well, where you're out in the desert driving massive trucks through there. And then we have a, again, looks like a bombed out post-apocalyptic city, town that has been destroyed by a nuclear weapon, where it's been abandoned for a very, very long time. And we go on to the other side as well. Again, the closer up you bring it, the attention to detail of the stonework, the floors, the earth around it. Beautiful attention to detail. This entire map is beautiful. Then you have just, again, wide open grass mat where you can create your own scene, as we did at the beginning of the video, which I don't need to do another one here for you, but this is what this looks like. Again, if you bring it up really close, you can see the attention to the detail of all the grasses and shrubbery that's all through here. Beautiful. And to this side as well. And then you have a rail yard again. That's very cool. This looks like more of an abandoned rail yard. Now when I see something like this reminds me of Wild West Exodus 28mm game, that you could use this for that. Again, the Walking Dead All Out War, miniatures game. You could use it for any type of cyberpunk. You can use it for Starfinder. And then we flip it onto this side. Use it for Aliens role-playing game, Star Trek, any type of sci-fi or cyberpunk. It's a little too modern to be using for like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder. But then again, you can use I forget what the science fiction one is for Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention throughout this, you can set this up any way you want. So if you want the map to go this direction, you can. If you want to go this direction, you can. If you want to use it this direction, it's 100% up to you how you decide to use the map. Okay, and again, there's your full map again. And then you've got like a shanty town here, which is again post-apocalyptic, but again, as I showed you at the beginning of the video, this is, as you can tell, this is a huge map compared to some of the other maps that I have shown you through the various different unboxings. And then we can show you this side as well. And again, that would be the full campus. Again, this whole thing here, there would be no impassable terrain. It would be wide open across from this side to this side. Wide open. And last but not least, we have 2 pages where they're completely blank and you can use them and create your own maps, as I showed you earlier at the beginning of the video presentation today. So that's everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of the Giant Book of Cyberpunk Battle Mats. 62 pages of battle mats for modern tabletop RPGs, brought to you by our good friends over at Loke Battle Mats. And for more information, go to lokebattlemats.com. As always, thank you for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Also, you could hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day. We'll catch you on the next unboxing video.